Welcome to another episode of the House Huddle Podcast. Here are your hosts, Rob Schwarz and Justin Onayemi, two Bears fans who decided talking into a microphone was better than shouting at their television.
Welcome in to House Huddle Short episode number 7. This is a field-focused all-22 breakdown. I know I haven't gotten one out in a while, but just finished watching the rest of the game. Had to do it in pieces here and there. And I'm happy with what I saw. This is the best outcome that I've come out with for Justin Fields as far as a grade goes. Going to be his highest graded game for me. And let's just get into it. So I know it was a loss. It was a 49-29 loss, right? But if you think about it, Chicago actually kind of won. You know, they didn't win the game, but they still won because you saw even more growth and development from Justin Fields. Apparently, my wife is coming in. You don't need to take the dog out. The dog's fine. Goodness. All right, back on track here. Sorry about that. The dog was fine. That was my dog, Phoenix. He definitely could have just been in here. Probably would have been more interesting to watch him than it would watch and listen to me anyway. So 49-29 loss, right, for the Chicago Bears last week. It was a lot closer than what that final score showed, right, that 20-point loss. And Justin Fields, again, had a great game. I gave him, out of all of the plays that I had, I only gave him 3 negative plays. And let me tell you, I was nitpicking, okay? I was nitpicking with these negative plays. All right, so double positives, gave Justin Fields 3 of those, okay? One of those was actually a play that didn't even result in a catch, okay? The deep ball to Velus Jones. Beautiful play, beautiful throw. Velus Jones has to catch that ball. He just has to catch that ball. But that's not on Justin, okay? So I'm going to give him a double positive on that. He had 16 positive plays for me, 49 neutral plays, where, you know, it was basically, you know, a handoff or a pass that wasn't, you know, anything special, just what a quarterback should be doing. And again, only 3 negative plays. So those 3 plays, like I said, I was being real nitpicky here. On the first 2-point conversion try, he actually gets hit pretty quick. And when you watch it at live game speed, it's like, how can you give him a negative play here, Rob? How can you give him a negative play here? Well, when you watch, he's looking to the left right away. Equinemius St. Brown is his first read. And if he just rips it, there's a real good chance that they get that 2-point conversion. He's still going to take the hit. Let me tell you, he's still going to take the hit. In fact, he might even get a penalty on that. And I get that it kind of looked like Diggs was, you know, baiting to get the interception. But this is a 2-point play. I mean, you're down. Take that risk, throw that ball, get the 2 points. If you don't, worst case scenario is Dallas scores 2. Right? I just think that it was something he had to just kind of rip it. Again, I'm being picky, but it's also based off of what we've seen in the past. He's continuously questioning himself sometimes with these passes that I feel like he just needs to make a quick decision and just rip it. So again, being nitpicky, but that's one of the ones I gave him a negative play for. There was another one where he took a sack in the beginning of the game, first half of the game. Again, really not his fault. No one was open. The only guy he did have open was the running back in the flat. I'm blanking on if it was Montgomery or Khalil Herbert, but just a quick little throw to the flat. Wouldn't have gained anything more than like 2-3 yards. But again, just something that could have happened to, avoid the sack and something to try and improve upon, right? And then the other one, this is really frustrating because he actually made a really, really good play on this play. So he's scrambling, he's stepping up, he's rolling to the left. Not rolling, sliding more to the left, making sure he stays behind the line of scrimmage. Makes a nice arm-angled throw to David Montgomery. Montgomery trying to get the first down, fumbles the ball horribly fumbles the ball. Micah Parsons gets it. Justin Fields is there. He jumps over him. Decides to jump over him instead of just touch him down, right? So I got to give him a negative play there. Like, that's a heads up thing. He's got to touch him, make sure he's down, because Micah Parsons gets up and then scores a touchdown. Obviously not something that the Bears could afford at that point in the game. So those are the only 3 negative plays. He had so many positives. One of the double positives I gave for him, one of the positive plays I gave for him, I almost gave him a double positive for. He recognized he gets the free play. Okay? We've been talking about this on the Hallis Huddle podcast since before the season started. This was something we should be expecting now. It's something that was taught in Green Bay. We see it all the time with Aaron Rodgers. All the time. He gets an offside penalty, gets the free play, and makes teams pay for it. And this almost happened again. Justin Fields gets the free play, sees it's a free play, throws it up. Equinemius St. Brown just can't come down with it in the end zone. I mean, he got 2 guys on him, but he had his hands on the ball at the high point. So real rough. A perfect throw by Justin Fields. Had it been a touchdown, I think I probably would have given him a double positive. I know I didn't penalize him for the Velus Jones play, and I shouldn't be penalizing here either, but it's just, I don't know. I feel like he kind of just had, he knew he could take a risk, so kind of downgrading it a little bit and just making it a positive. But it was close. It was close for me. So I don't know if you guys recall, but my grading scale, 85 plus is an elite quarterback play for that game. Okay, I'm not talking elite quarterback forever. Brian Hoyer could come in and have an elite game, but he's still Brian Hoyer, right? So this is Justin Fields' highest graded game for me. I had him with an 84. Okay, 85 is elite. I mean, 84 is the top end of the above average range. Okay, 65 to 74 was average. 75 to 84 was above average. So, yeah, a great game from Justin Fields this week. And I know it hurts because they lost. And they lost bad. I mean, 20 points is rough. But, again, the game was a lot closer than that. And they had their opportunities. So let's just look at his overall stats. Just a quick comparison here. Again, and the stats don't jump out at you. I mean, he's not throwing for 300 yards. He's just not. That's not what he's doing. And that's okay. It's okay. I do think having Chase Claypool here is going to help. I think we're going to see these numbers increase. And I think he might have a chance to get some elite level gameplay in. Okay. But right now, passing yards for this game, he only finished with 151. I've been tracking this now for the last 4 weeks. And that's the lowest passing yardage that he's had out of those 4 games. Okay. Added another 60 yards rushing for a total of 211 yards. This isn't like Rich Gannon, Kurt Warner, Dan Marino, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert type numbers here. All right. But they're the type of numbers that help this team win, and he was efficient. 73.9% passing or completion percentage in this game. Threw for 2 touchdowns. No interceptions. Had a rushing touchdown. Okay, the rushing touchdown too. Great run by Justin Fields. Does a great job. Just as a design run, which they've been doing a lot more of. I had them pegged for 5 design runs. Technically, it would have been 6, but we had that Cole Kmet hold on the one that brought that play back, so I wasn't going to count it in my design runs count. Had 11 the week before, so definitely dropped down a little bit, and I think that was a little bit expected. But the big difference here too is, we're talking about yardage. I tracked the drops. I counted 3 drops that could have resulted in big plays. Now, some of those won't actually come up on the stat sheet. For example, like I just said, the ESB drop. That's not going to be on the stat sheet because there's a penalty on the play. The penalty was upheld. Had the penalty been declined because he caught it, those stats would have counted. So I actually counted 3 drops in this game. The Valus one was one of the other ones, and I'm blanking on what the third one was, but I had that for a total of another 87 yards that could have been added to his to Justin Fields' total for his passing yards, right? And we are, and then a touchdown also added on to there because they didn't score on that drive. So let's see, 151. You're talking 238 passing yards. Add in the 60 rushing yards. You're talking nearly 300 all-purpose yards. 298. I'm not going to complain about that. I don't think anyone would, right? Almost 300 yards pass, or 300 total combined yards. 3 total touchdowns. I mean, if you're a fantasy owner, you're loving this stuff, right? Absolutely loving this stuff. Let's see. He finished with a 120 quarterback rating. That was his highest of his career. So it kind of makes sense that it's also my highest grade for him this year. I do want to get back and watch the New England game. I just don't know when I'm going to have time. The trade deadline definitely. I expected them to be active. I did not expect them to have 3 trades for the trade deadline. But this week is going to be honestly, this week, I predicted them. This podcast hasn't come out yet, but I was on the Fins Up podcast, which is a fan-sided affiliate. And we were doing just, get to know your opponents type of recording, 20, 25-minute recording. And they asked me to give them a prediction on what I thought the score was going to be. Now I came out and said 33-24 Dolphins. Dolphins by 9. And I think that's pretty accurate. But here's the thing. Miami's defense is not as good as Dallas. Not as good as Dallas. Now, I didn't look ahead. In fact, we're going to look ahead really quick as I'm doing this live. And their next opponent after Chicago, never mind, it's the Browns. I was hoping maybe the Bears would be a trap game for them, but they go Browns and then Texans and then 49ers. So they have plenty of time before they even have to start thinking about the 49ers. This isn't going to be a trap game for them. The good news is it's in Chicago, so we don't have to worry about the home field advantage that Miami gets with the different heat index that they have on the opposite side of their field. I don't know if you guys recall, but a couple of years ago, you saw Khalil Mack, right, just struggling. The whole defense just struggling because they just could not catch their breath. I mean, it was so hot. They were dying out there. So it definitely is going to be a positive that they're here in Chicago, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. It's going to be like Dallas. It's just a talent thing. You're going up against the Dolphins, who have not only Tyreek Hill, who's leading the league in receiving, but Justin and I talked about it on the House Huddle podcast, episode 20, where we kind of previewed the next opponent. And They also have Jalen Waddle, who's fourth in receiving, right? So number 1 and number 4 in receiving yards. That's insane. Insane. This defensive backfield is going to probably have its hardest, its toughest matchup in this game. We saw them struggle against Justin Jefferson early in the Minnesota game and then buckled down with some changes. So let's hope Alan Williams is here to make that happen. The problem is that Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle together are way better than Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen together. Adam Thielen is kind of on the downside of his career here. So it's going to be rough. They need to get some pressure, and they haven't been able to do that. So I'm not expecting a win. But what I am hoping for, as we've seen, Justin Fields has compounded on his games over the last 4 weeks. We've seen mistakes that he was making earlier in the season that he is not making now. Even little things, and we've talked about it, even little things, the little things of just sidearming it when a guy's jumping in his face, right? Now he's got to be careful because guys are going to see that on film for the last couple of weeks. Maybe they put their hands to the side thinking he's just going to sidearm it. He's got to read the defender. Maybe if they go to do that, toss it back over top. But we're not seeing the same mistakes twice. We're seeing him as he's rolling out, keeping his eyes down the field, not going past the line of scrimmage like he did earlier in the year until he makes the decision to actually run. I don't know, guys. This is a franchise quarterback in the making, and if you're a Chicago Bears fan like me, you have to be excited about what we are seeing from this team. You just have to. The outcome of the season from a wins-loss standpoint means nothing right now. I'm excited to see what Chase Claypool brings to the table. I don't think he's going to be the answer for 2023. I still think that Ryan Poles is going to get another weapon for Justin Fields. Chase Claypool is not an elite receiver. He's an elite athlete. His athletic scores are off the chart. Okay? But he is not, he's just not going to be the A.J. Brown that we see in Philadelphia that the Eagles traded for this year. He's not going to be the Tyreek Hill that we've seen in Miami that the Dolphins traded for. But he's going to be a lot better and bring something to the table that we haven't seen yet here. And I think Darnell Mooney is going to be able to be a lot more active because what Claypool can do, he can high point the ball, but he can also catch the go. He likes the go route. And he makes nice catches on those go routes. And if they have to worry about him going deep, like that Velus Jones ball, that probably wouldn't have been a drop for Chase Claypool. It just wouldn't be. Two different types of receivers. Velus Jones is fast and should be a go route guy, but he's just not. He's more of a catch it 20 yards and then take it to the house. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens, and I don't expect a win, but I'm excited to see what Justin Fields can do to advance his game now that he has another weapon. And it might take a couple weeks for that to transform out onto the field, right? We might not see it right away because they need to develop some chemistry. But at an almost elite level versus the Cowboys, who hadn't let up more than 26 points prior, and that was to the 8-0 Philadelphia Eagles, Justin Fields is going to be a guy. I've been saying it since he was drafted. He was my number 2 prospect, and I always said he had a higher ceiling than Trevor Lawrence. Lawrence being my QB1. And it's sure as hell looking like that's going to be the case, guys. So let's get excited, Chicago. Let's get excited. Go buy your Justin Fields jerseys. I know it's hard to buy a quarterback jersey here in Chicago, but I think Fields is probably going to be the closest that this franchise is going to see. And hopefully he's here for, 10, 15 years. And this team is going to, take back the North just like Ryan Poles promised. It's a good time to be a Bears fan as we also watch the Packers collapse. So that's it for me today. How is Huddle short? Justin Fields focused, all 22 breakdown of the Bears versus Cowboys. Make sure you hit that like button. Okay, if you listen to this and you like what you hear, hit that like button. All right, you're watching on or you're listening to it on a podcast, hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment. I've been saying it. Leave some comments. We need some more comments. I like hearing what you guys think, and I like constructive criticism. So what do you want from us, right? What makes you come back and listen? That's what we need to know to be better. I can't change if I don't know if there's things that you guys aren't liking. So get out there, leave comments. Okay? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And Justin and I will be back for post game for the Bears and Dolphins. Bear down.